it's Colin from the future. All the footage in this video was filmed earlier in the year, starting from the 5th of May. I have had some pretty annoying editing issues and I'm only now getting into putting all my footage from the summer together. So we're now going to go back in time and follow my potato growing journey from this summer. Enjoy! And now we're gonna go and help my mum with planting some potatoes. So let's go do that. So on the 5th of May we prepared the potato bed with a bunch of bags of partially decomposed compost and some other bits and pieces. This is where the potatoes were last year, so I was finding little potatoes that had kind of stuck around, but we were basically just filling it. It was about halfway full, I think, of just bits and bobs lying around because it's quite a big a big thing to fill up, but it was just getting it ready to get the potatoes sitting on top. Here are the potatoes. They've been chickened and they've got super healthy shoots that are coming out and some roots and all sorts. So we're going to pop these into the potato bed and hopefully we will have a amazing crop of Charlotte potatoes. Yummy! This was definitely a collaborative project with me and Mum. I helped with preparing and planting the potatoes, but I would be lying if I said I had absolutely anything to do with the upkeep of them. I basically forgot that they existed because they're not in the main part of the garden, so I'm not seeing them every day. And my brain is basically like, if I can't see it, it doesn't exist. So it's amazing anything around the side of the house grew at all, to be honest. But yeah, I do admit I kind of forgot about the potatoes for the most part. But I did help plant them. That is my hand planting the potatoes. So I was involved at least from the beginning. But basically all we did was pop them in and with the shoots facing up, and then we covered them up just a little bit. And essentially what you want to do is, as they grow up with the leaves and shoots coming out of the soil, you then just keep topping them up, you earth them up, and keep covering the green bits, and then that's basically where the potatoes will grow from. So you start with not very much compost and soil and stuff, and then it just kind of builds up and up and up, and the potatoes will then just keep growing from the stems. So yeah, we were just filling it with spent compost and then mulched it on the top. This basically just kept it warm and moist when it was watered to stop the water from evaporating. It's now the 20th of July and we are going to attempt to harvest some potatoes, and there is a clear, well, from the top, a clear winner in terms of the two potato growing methods. So these are the ones that were grown in the bag and they are looking a little bit sad. They didn't really flower. I don't think any of them flowered actually. I can't remember. Hi Ripley. But the one in the container, they have grown A, much bigger, B, what they look healthier, and C, they were covered in flowers. So I think these ones are probably gonna, from looking at them just as they are now, these ones are probably going to be the most successful in terms of potato harvest. But we are going to have a look, and we're going to tip these ones out and see if there's anything in there, and then we're going to pull a couple from in here, and then we're going to compare them and have some for our tea tonight. potatoes. Oh, look at a tiny potato. Oh, that one's quite big. Hey, I actually do have potatoes. A lot of them are quite small though, like they're not very, as if they've not actually grown enough yet. Ooh, that's a big one. Another big one. Ah, this has actually been quite successful. So that was actually a lot more successful than I was expecting. We've got some good sized potatoes here. There's quite an inconsistency in terms of size, and some are still on the plant. There's not really any point in picking those, so it might be a bit too late, but what I am going to try and experiment with is putting them back in, actually looking after them, because I kind of keep forgetting about these guys back here and forgetting to water them, and just seeing if I can grow any of these up a bit more. They might not, but there's a lot of potential potatoes on there, so yeah, bag harvest, you know, I'd give that a solid, 6 out of 10. Exceeds expectations, I think I would rate this. So now we just have to have a look and see what we've got in that one and see how they compare. As expected, these potatoes performed far better than the ones in the bag. The big ones were actually a very similar size to the big ones in the bag, but there was just a lot more consistency. They were all very much the same kind of size. They were really very good from from the big container, but there wasn't actually any difference in taste as far as I can tell, so success all round really. And this is the meal that we had that very evening with my homegrown potatoes. We used all the ones from my bag and a couple from the big pot, and they all tasted absolutely amazing. That whole dinner was truly sensational. But the potatoes were really, really good. There's some very awkward footage of me enjoying them, but I was very much enjoying them. That was not acting for the camera or anything. They were really tasty. They were so buttery and soft, and you can just tell when you eat a homegrown potato, there is nothing compared to it. I can't go to shop bought potatoes ever again for my new potatoes. After that, we continued to harvest the potatoes for a good few weeks afterwards, and they were all very much of a similar size. They worked so well, and they were truly delicious. I'm so sad we no longer have any more homegrown potatoes, but I am eager to make or to grow some more next year. They are definitely something that we can successfully do in this garden, which is really exciting. And maybe we need to try different varieties. I don't really know anything about earlies, second earlies, main crops and all that stuff. So it would be really interesting to learn a bit more about potato growing in general and see if we can elongate our harvest for more of the year, because we consume a lot of potatoes. We have roasted, new potatoes, wedges, baked potatoes, all the different types of potatoes. So we could definitely experiment more with extra potato growing, but on the whole, very successful potato crop this year. Very happy. Oh, look at a tiny potato. Oh, that one's quite big. Hey, I actually do have potatoes.